On August 13th, the National Fire Sprinkler Association and the FDNY are teaming up to host a fire sprinkler lithium-ion battery summit. From 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., there will be presentations and live fire demonstrations. Scan the code on your screen or visit them at nfsa.org to get registered today. Training at Wildwood. Come out Thursday, September 12th, for a morning training session with Chief John Yar of the Lakewood Fire Department. Chief Yar is the chief of department of the fastest growing and third largest municipality in the state of New Jersey. Come listen to how he's leading his dedicated members of the Lakewood Fire Department as they continue to transition their department to meet the town's growing needs. Scan the QR code on the screen or find them on social media and get registered today. The New Jersey Deputy and Battalion Chiefs Association will be hosting their annual fire service seminar on Saturday, October 5th at New Jersey City University. This year's speakers will include Chief Vincent Dunn, Chief Aaron Heller, and Chief Anthony Avillo, among many other great firematic minds. So scan the QR code on your screen or find them on social media and get your tickets today. Hey, everybody, how are you? Welcome to another great run, number 25, with Captain Paul Tweedly of the retired from the Trenton Fire Department. Captain Paul Tweedly was appointed to the Trenton Fire Department in October of 1982. As a Proby, his first assignment was Engine Company #8. Paul was promoted to the rank of captain in 1995 and spent most of the remainder of his career with Engine Co.3 on South Broad Street. Paul retired after 26 years of service in 2009 and established Captain Paul's Firehouse Hot Dogs in April of that year. Located at 2230 Princeton Pike in Lawrence, New Jersey, Captain Paul's Firehouse Dogs is family owned and operated in the heart of Mercer County. Captain Paul's is dedicated to the men and women associated with the emergency services, the military, and their families, and all those who volunteer to help others. The Maltese cross in the center of the building is a reminder of those 343 lost on 9/11. Without further interruption, I'd like to introduce you all to Captain Paul Tweedly. Hey,
Hey,
Cap,
Nick.
how are you today?
I'm doing great, Nick. Thank you for having me. It's a pretty big honor to be on here. I see some of your interviews prior to some great chiefs, some other captains, and it's just an honor to be here.
Absolutely. I'm honored to have you. I'm honored that you took the time out. I mean, you're very busy running the business and, everything that you're doing for Toys for Tots, whether it's Toys for Tots or other, cancer associations or firefighters associations, law enforcement, you do a lot. So I appreciate you taking the time out to come on today.
Thank you.
So let's get down to it. Where'd you grow up and what got you into the fire service?
I was born in Trenton, New Jersey. My dad was in the military for a while, Navy, and then we moved out to L.A. for a little bit, so he can serve his 2 years in L.A. We stayed there for about 6 years and moved back to Jersey. My dad became a post officer, he was a mailman, and
Okay.
then I think he then became a fireman, and he was come home. The what I remember the most is him being a Chiefs driver. He would come before he went and picked the Chiefs up. He would bring the car back and to the house, and we'd talk to my mom and me, and then I started getting interested in it that way.
Now, is he also in Trenton?
Yeah, he was also at Trenton.
Okay.
And then I don't know. Things moved along. I got more and more interested in it. And then I said, well, it sounded like a really good opportunity for me. My father talked me into it. He said, it's a really good opportunity to be a fireman. So took the test. I was lucky enough to be be in front of the deputy chief's son. So I was able to get hired on the list that got extended. And oh my God, it was the greatest gift ever. So that's how it all started. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I muted my microphone.
That's okay.
You grew up in Trenton, where what was Trenton like back then? Early days.
It was Nick. It was great. I grew up on 2nd Street, and we had the river. We used to go down to the Delaware River all the time, where the Trenton Thunder baseball stadium is now. There used to be a big hill there.
Okay.
When it would snow, we would go down, bring our sleds down there. We'd go fishing. We go fishing in Delaware. We'd go swimming in the Delaware. The Champale brewery was right down the street, so you smell alcohol all the time. It was a cool town to hang with. The river, I called ourselves the River Rats, and it was a lot of fun. It was just a lot.
All right. So, did you always, like you said, you always knew you wanted to be a fireman, or?
Well, I was a police officer in Trenton for a little bit, but the greatest thing ever happened to me was to get booted out of there, and go over to the fire department. It just didn't work out in the police department. I was lucky enough to be, like I said, to be on the right in front of the deputy chief's son. So I knew I was going to get hired, and I took advantage of the situation. And when they hired me, it was like I said, they put me in Engine 8. They put me with Captain Oakley. Captain Oakley's just passed last week, but he was my hero. I mean, he took me under his wing. Him and Mickey Zuccarello, they took me under their wing, and it was so much fun. Stuyvesant Avenue, we had the pool boxes back still then.
Okay.
So we were always running, but it was fun, and they made it fun. And Captain Oakley was just a great impact on my life, and it was just like being at the fire. Well, you know what it is. It's being at the firehouse. Man, you're in the kitchen. You're just giving it to each other all the time, and Captain Oakley was always a buster. So it was fun. It was just a lot of fun.
Now, what was the makeup of Trenton Fire Department back then? How many engines? How many trucks?
We had 10 engines. We had 4 trucks. Didn't have the rescue when I got on.
Okay.
We had they had Liberty. The ambulance was Liberty.
Okay.
And then there's another one too, but the rescue didn't come in until maybe like 10 years onto the job. We ran. I mean, we just ran all the time because of the pull boxes. That was a big thing. There used to be a lot of false alarms, but Engine 8. You were by yourself out there because Engine 1 wasn't on Calhoun Street at the time.
Okay.
So you were by yourself out there, and you had to back yourself up. Your first line in was always you were going to be there by yourself for 3-4 minutes at least.
Okay.
So it was great learning experience, and it just I can't say enough great things about my first assignment being an Engine 8.
Now, what was the staffing like? 4 guys, 3 guys.
Yeah, it was Nick. They had at the time there was 5 of us on the engine. Well, one of the sorters that got shipped out, so it was 5 on a crew.
Okay.
One of us, I was lucky enough for the first 6 months. They didn't ship me out. They kept me with Captain Oakley. And Mikey Zuccarello, he always bust my chops because he got shipped out almost every day and night tour. But he did it to me. But it was 4 guys, and they kept 4 guys in Engine 8 for the longest time because, like I said, you always had to back yourself up to hydrant. Yeah. Because there just wasn't. You had a long wait for somebody to get there.
Okay.
So they kept your 4 guys most of the time until the city had made some cuts and they went down to 3 guys.
Okay.
I don't know, Nick, what they're doing now. I know they're running 3 guys on an engine now.
Okay.
I would think some of the engines. I would hope Engine 8 has 4 guys because, they have Engine 9 out there on the west side now. Yeah. So they have help now. So it's probably 3 guys on an engine, but back then it was 4.
Okay. All right. So so you get off probation, you start moving around. How long were you at Engine 8 before you went somewhere else? Or
I was at Engine 8 for about 5 years, and like I said, I can still remember some of the memories. I mean, I still laugh about them. I spent the first 5 years there. They moved me to Engine 9 for a while, and I think I don't even know how long I was there for a while. Then they moved me around. I was shipped out a lot because I was the low man. Yeah. At the time, Nick, there was a lot of older guys. They weren't making the kind of money that they make now. So there was a lot of guys stayed on the job 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
And not like when I did. I left twice. I did 26 and I was up. Those guys stayed 35, 40 years. So, the low guy always got shipped out. And so I moved around the city. I was always moving around the city all the time. So, and that you get to develop friendships with a lot of guys because you're on your shift all the time. So you're always shipped out. You get to meet new guys and learn new districts and learn new engines. You're lucky enough you had a good captain. You got broken in on different engines because engine 8 was a Suffin, I think, at the time. And they had Hans. They had all kinds of different engine. They had an engine 1, I think, was called at the time like that. But it was great to get shipped out. Like I said, you get to learn a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what was the fire duty like? You said you were getting a lot of false alarms because of the pole boxes. Were you guys getting a lot of fires too back then?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like Trenton's always burning nowadays.
Yeah, Nick. Especially Engine 8. Engine 8 at the time was going through some unrest. That part of town was going through some unrest. So we were moving a lot. We were fighting a lot of house fires. And Engine 8, there's a lot of high rises. There's a lot of high rise Engine 8 district. So you're always going there. They always have like a lot of Karas cookings. The high rise fires mostly kept to the one room. They weren't multi floors. So, but you did fight a lot of fires. It was pretty nonstop. But like you look back at it now, the experience that it gave you was such a great experience because you learned a lot while you were fighting fires. You learned, well, I won't make this mistake next time. So it's just a great experience.
Yeah, I wish I was old enough to experience a different era.
Yeah.
All right. So when did you start thinking about studying?
I started thinking about studying maybe probably year 8.
Okay.
Why? Because the shifts start to happen. The older guys who had between 30 and 40 years on a job, they start leaving. Okay. So the opportunity to move up as a captain got greater and greater. They were, instead of hiring 5 guys off a list, they would hire 15 guys off the list.
Okay.
Sometimes 20 guys off the list. So I figured if I can just get in that top 20, I would be okay. And it took me a couple times. I mean, it took me a couple times. I went to study groups. We had our study group. Went to classes. But it just didn't happen for me right away. But in 1995, it happened. I came out number 16 on the list.
Okay.
And I was able to. I got hired pretty quickly, and it was great.
Like you said, they started rotating. Guys started leaving.
Yeah, guys started leaving, Nick, and like I said, they got older, and it was, I think they figured out if you stayed past 30, somebody sat down and figured it out. That if you stayed past 30, you're actually only making
to go to work.
Wasn't even worth going because it was like $10,000 a year because you were paying your union dues, you were paying your pension, you were paying all this and that, and your health benefits and everything like that. So it was somebody who probably wanted to make captain.
Yeah,
sat down and figure it out. So these guys would leave. So it was. I got on and I got sent to ladder 4 for a while. Ladder 4. As you know, is just its headquarters.
Yeah. And
ladder 4 goes on everything. I mean, they're either first due or second due on everything. So first time I worked on a ladder as a captain, it was pretty eye opening, going on roofs, and because usually just you go in with the hose, you putting the wet stuff on the red stuff, and you're trying to stop the spread. And the ladder company, you're throwing up ladders, you're on roofs and stuff like that. It's a whole new experience. So I did ladder 4 for a while. Then I went to ladder 2. Ladder 2 was a little bit slower at the time.
Okay.
It was South Trenton. Ladder 2 and Engine 3 are together. At the time, South Trenton wasn't as busy as headquarters or Engine 8.
Okay.
Not like now. Now Engine 3 and ladder 2 are 2 of the busiest ones in the city.
Okay.
So I spent some time at ladder 2 over there. I had some really good guys working the engine at the time. taught me a lot as being a captain, how to be responsible and how to treat guys and do all that. And then I switched over to Engine 3. Engine 3 opened up, so I went over to Engine 3, and it was just stayed there. And I just had some really, we got lucky with, I had 4 guys that were like handyman guys.
Yeah.
They all knew how to do something, a little bit of something really good. So I always had a really good crew over there. I was fortunate.
That's good. Now, as a fireman, did you spend much time in truck companies, or like you said, it was a different ball game, both as a captain and going to the truck?
Yeah, the truck company, as you know, Nick, is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
When you're used to crawling around inside of a house, and you're not doing that as much as on the ladder. Before the rescue got there, the ladder was mostly the search and rescue. You always did search and rescue before the rescue came into play. But as you know, ladder, you're ventilating, you're going inside checking for people, doing second floor, third floor operations, roof operations.
Now, what year did they bring the rescue in?
Nick, I think it was around 1992 or 3 or something like that.
Okay,
I'm probably off on that.
Okay,
but I remember them bringing the rescue in, and they were fortunate enough that there were some really sharp guys that made the first on the 4 shifts. They had some really sharp guys in the beginning, and as they do now. But they put the rescue in. The rescue always rode 5 guys.
Okay.
So before the RIT team came into play, the rescue guys were they would get you in, get you out of there, get the people in, get the people out.
Yeah.
But they came in. When they came in, it was a new ball. It was a whole new ball team because there's a lot of other people in the house with you.
Yeah.
If you're as an engine captain, you're usually just you in the deckhand, but the ladder company, the rescue guys and stuff like that. And so it was interesting, but the rescue does so much great work that I'm so happy they got them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what was it? FDNY Rescue 1 was the first fire service rescue, and their sole purpose was firefighter rescue.
Right. Yeah, they know they had FDNY has some really unfortunate guys go down.
Yeah.
And those guys. I'm so happy they came up with that. And I still don't know how to get down the streets with some of those trucks, but they do. And it's pretty cool that the rescue came into it, and they do the diving, they do the boat rescues, they do the trains. I mean, guys.
Now, did Trenton have a Marine unit per se, or
yeah, they had a Marine unit. They were head at the first. I think they were in headquarters. But then when they built the Calhoun Street Firehouse, they all moved there, and
okay.
They had a couple of boat. They had a couple of launches. One was on Calhoun Street. One was where where the park, where the Thunder play now. There's a boat launch there. The
yes. Okay.
Used. So they, at the time, the Delaware was mobbed with boats because you were able. They had a lot of. They used to fish out there all the time. They had those fish that came in every like March or April. I can't remember what they were called, but there's guys out there all the time. Them guys are out there all the time rescuing people off boats, and guys earn their money.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
They did.
Because wherever there's fishing, the fishermen, there's alcohol, and wherever there's alcohol, there's bad decisions. That
seems to have been a prevalent posture of things out there on the water, because they were going out there and they would come back and say, "Oh, did you see how full that cooler was? Holy mackerel! Yeah, all kinds of stuff in there."
Should have confiscated it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure some of it did get confiscated. Nobody knew about it.
All right, so any big memorable fires or?
Yeah, we had it.
Incidents?
We had the time on Oak Street. We had like 18 houses go at one time. It was a snowy day, icy day. Nobody could stay on their feet. People were sliding all over the place. It was remember that one. That one's big. I was lucky enough one time to me and Chief Fanning we relieved each other as captains at Engine
Okay.
Co.3. And on Sunday mornings, we would tell each other, I know you're going out with your family tonight. Why don't you just come in at 8:00 or 8:30 or something like that? So we'll hang in there. So we do that for each other. And so one Sunday, I was leaving work, and I came down Cash Street, and there was smoke and fire blowing out the second floor, and didn't look like anybody knew what was going on. And so I was just banging. I start banging, and finally somebody came to the window, and they start tossing their children out to me. I was standing there. I was catching their kids. I caught the two of their kids. Then he sent his wife down, and from the second floor. I didn't really catch her. I kind of just braced her.
They broke the fall.
I broke the fall. Yeah, that's being kind. And then he came down. He jumped out, and I kind of broke his fall too. So that was a memorable thing for. That was a memorable thing for me. So,
absolutely, and it's a hell of a nice thing for you to do.
Yeah, well, you had to do it. You're a first responder.
Absolutely,
you have to do it.
And, I'm talking about sacrificing your body.
Oh, well, I did break a finger, but that was worth it. It was worth it.
Absolutely, life is always worth it.
Another time with Captain Oakley was Eddie Brodowitz was our driver, and it was another snowy, icy night, and Brody got out of the truck and went down. I mean, down. He went down and slid. He's like sliding down the street, and Captain Oakley said, "Brody, what are you doing? What the F are you doing? You get back here and put this in the pump." And Brody would try to get up and just slide back down the hill. It was just, you had to be there. Nobody got hurt, fortunately, but you had to be there. It was just he would get up and then slide back down, and get up and slide back down. It was just remember memories like that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so you move along. You said you spent most of your time as a captain at Engine 3.
Engine 3, yeah.
So, what are some of the guys you worked with? What were some of the challenges you had? Because I mean, like you said, you didn't have many guys with you. You had. What were some of the challenges of a understaffed captain, if you will?
Well.
And how did you overcome them?
I was lucky enough to have really good guys, but one of the biggest things was language. There was a lot of Spanish speaking people would start moving into South Trenton, Engine 3's district, Hudson Street, and in that area back then. And you'd go out, and they didn't speak English, and it was hard to communicate. Nobody had the iPhones at the time. You can punch in transistor translator or something like that. You didn't have that. You'd have to, we would we'd actually call a fireman, and can you tell us what they're trying? They're trying to ask for help, and you're trying your best to give them the help that they want, but you just can't. That was the biggest challenge that we had at Engine 3 at the time. That it kind of worked itself out after a while. You were able to understand. It took a while to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
For a while, if you listen to it over and over again, you kind of know what they're trying the help that they need.
Yeah, you start hearing the same phrases.
Yeah, you do
two together.
You do it again, and we had, unfortunately, Manny Rivera was on our shift. Manny died.
Yeah. Manny was great.
About 5 years later, after I had left, but Manny and Benny Santiago came over, and Manny was on Engine 3 with me, and Benny was on ladder 2. And I'm telling you, Nick, it's like 3:00 in the morning. If Manny was shipped out or was off that night, we'd get Benny up, get Benny up, tell him to wake up. It was, who do you want now?
He's got to earn his money.
But it worked out. You do your best. The cards that dealt you do your best to deal with them, and you try to. And as a fireman, you find a way to get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You find a way to get it done. I mean, I always tell the story of New York fireman told one day. He said I was out of class, and he said the mayor asked the chief a question about what can the fire department do, and the chief told him, he says, just tell the fireman where you want that ditch. How low do you want the ditch, and how far do you want it? Do you want to go 200 miles? Because they'll do 200 miles. Just tell them what they want. Tell them what they want, and firemen will get it done. So that's the kind of thing I always pride myself on, because if you ask the fireman to do something, I asked one of the guys to do something, the chief asked me to do something, the job got done. So
absolutely,
most firemen, I know most firemen are like that.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Tell me what you want me to do and get out of my way.
That's all.
If you're gonna stand over me and tell me how you want it done, here's the shovel. You dig the hole.
Right. Absolutely. Just tell me what you want done. Give me the shovel and give me the pick. I'll dig it. I'll do 200 miles, and I'll do it at 2 feet. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So, you're getting close to retirement. What was it that finally made you make the decision?
They were going to start the EMS engines, and my back was bothering me pretty good at that time, because I was a little bit heavier, and my back, getting up and down off the truck, and engine 3 started getting really busy. So you were out a lot, you were doing a lot of work, and my back just started really bothering me. And then when they said they're going to go to the EMS engines, I there was no possible way I could be able to go out.
Yeah,
they're running 600 runs a month now. Engines. Yeah. So there's no possible way I was going to be able to do that. So I was fortunate enough. I had enough time, and I said, I'm just going to pull the trigger now. I would have loved to still be there.
Yeah.
Because you miss the guys. You missed it. You solve all the world's problems in the kitchen.
Oh, absolutely.
All the world's problems. And
absolutely.
And you got the guys. You cook meals together every day. Their families. It's just a nonstop ball busting 14-hour shift or 24-hour shift.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's just it's a fun thing.
Now, were you still on the job when Trenton went away from the 10s and 14s, or were you still working 10s and 14s?
No, I was a 10 to 14 guy, and then,
okay.
I think about a year after I had left, they went to the 24s. I know most of the guys love it. Most of the guys love the 24s.
It's 3 days off afterwards.
Yeah, it's an amazing shift.
Yeah.
Right? If Nick, if you catch something early, it's a long 24 hours. If you catch something in the morning, and then the rest of the day's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Then you have the night shift, and it's a long, but you have 3 days to recover too. So
yeah, exactly.
but I never did the 24s, and but a lot of guys, all the guys come in here and support us, and they tell me they love it.
Yeah, it's I work 48 hours. I wish I worked 40. I wish I worked 24. 72. That would be great. Yeah,
that would that's a beautiful schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. What? So now you retire, and what? Captain Paul's Firehouse Dogs. What?
Nick, I retired in 2009. I worked. I got a job with the Dodgers in Vero Beach, and I did security for them down there. For the spring training. But my buddy owned this building. He owned. It was called Gelato. It was Chris Baldessari, who owns Russ Ayers and Bordentown Creamery now. Okay. And he had an ice cream store called Gelato's here. He asked me if I'd come help him, because he was doing the ice cream store. He was doing Russ Ayers. Then he had a baby, so it was impossible for him to be here. So I started doing this here.
Okay.
And I said, well, Chris had went to Detroit and bought a hot dog cart, like Russ Ayers hot dog cart. It's a humongous thing, heavy as heck. So we decided we were going to use it as go out to functions like the September Fest, stuff like that. We tried that. Okay. The thing's so heavy that it's impossible to move it.
Yeah.
All the time. Just couldn't do it anymore. So we said, well, we'll open this. Well, maybe we'll open a hot dog stand inside Gelato's. and then we bought the hot dog cart here. We had a guy come in and build around it, and so I just took it over from there, and I took it over Capt Paul's. I bought it. I meant the place to be. I wanted the place, and it still is, a place where cops, firemen, the military, because we all kind of see the same things. We all kind of deal with the same issues. So I wanted a place where they can come in here and just talk, because a lot of guys just need to talk.
Yeah.
So, as you know, and you come in here, the Trenton cops will come in, and the Lawrence cops and the Hamilton cops, they all come in here, and we would just talk to each other. And then about 2012, the guys start coming back from Afghanistan, the military guys.
Yeah.
They would stop. They would stop here and start giving me their patches, and I get goosebumps thinking about it. It was an incredible feeling to have the camaraderie with the military guys. And then we decided from there to just start incorporating the military, all the flags, the military branches.
And I'll bring up that picture again.
Yeah,
that's the outside.
That's what Capt Paul's is all about right there. It's the military, it's the police, it's the fire, it's the nurses, the doctors, the guys the EMS, the guys and ladies who every day put it on the line, and just we want them to know that they're welcome here and they're honored here. And we started something about 3 or 4 years ago where we bought patches, and if you donated money to a jar, that you can get a patch. And then we'd have people just dropping off hundreds of dollars. And now we have enough money. And if you come in here in uniform, if you're a police, fire, EMT, military, if you come in, nurse, doctors, correction officers, if you come in here with your uniform on, you don't pay for your meal. So, and we have enough money to last us the rest of this year and probably next year.
Oh,
so
wow.
People are very generous. They come in and they drop money off all the time.
Now, what is your season? Because I know you closed down for a chunk of the winter.
Yeah, we do.
Then you reopen around April 1st, right?
Yeah, around April 1st, the last week of March. We wait until the Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots program at Capt Paul's is for as small as this place is. That's what the Marines tell me, that they get the most donations from a place is Capt Paul's, and it's, as you know, Nick, it's a small little place.
Yeah.
The community just brings hundreds and hundreds of toys here, and we have a big thing every year. And when the Marines come and pick up the toys, that's about when we shut it. We shut it down and we close it down for 2 or 3 months. And but up until then, we rock and roll, and we're always doing fundraisers. We have a lot of fundraisers here, so the place does well, and we're happy to be here.
Yeah, I love going there. I love your hot dogs. I love your kibasi sandwich. It's great. And I mean, you walk in, and honestly, to me, it's a firehouse. You walk in, you got the patches everywhere, helmets hanging. It's a family. It's got that family firehouse feel.
Yeah, it's it turned into a really cool little place. With all we start, like I said, the military guys would come in and take the patches off their uniforms. Then we start getting patches sent to us from other fire departments and other police departments. Then customers would come in and they're, well, my son's a Dallas SWAT officer. Here's his patch. And then my brother's a Boston police officer. So here's his patch. And you get stories like that, like come in here and you put them up there and you go, oh man, this turned into a. We have 500 we didn't even put up yet. Back, we're trying to find room we're putting stuff.
I was gonna say you gotta find room.
We have to find room. We're trying to find room. We're trying to figure it out. But we're fortunate enough that people bring us stuff. We just got a flag today from the National Guard. We're having a fundraiser here at the end of August, and for the National Guard, we're going to send packages over to the people who are in Syria. There's the local armory here in Lawrence. They're deployed right now in Syria, and some other places. And so we're going to send them some care packages. So we're going to raise money here. We're going to raise money here on, I think it's the 25th. The Drury Brewery is going to be here. They're having a cannon. We're going to shoot off the cannon. It's going to be a big deal. And so we try to give back to the community because they give us so much. I mean, it's just like they give us so much. So we try to we want to give back, and it's the way you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit more about that event. What day is it?
It's a Sunday. If you want, Prospect Heights Firehouse is having one on a Saturday. That's the 24th, I think. That's Saturday, and 25th is the National Guard, fundraiser.
All right.
It's 112th Artillery. They're going to have the Drury Brewery. They're bringing it's a local brewery, and we're hoping that it's going to be we want it to be like an American thing. Like,
okay.
We maybe get some apple pies here. Maybe get some Trenton Thunder baseball players here, baseball, hot dogs, beer.
All right.
Apple pie. We want it to be an American thing, and let the troops know that we got their back.
Absolutely.
We got their back.
Definitely. I love it. You get me some more information on that, and I'll put it out the next couple of weeks up until the event.
Okay.
I will. And for those watching, I will get the link and I will put it in the show notes and remind you guys every week from now on.
That'd be awesome.
Be there. Absolutely. Cool. No, thank you. Again, thank you for everything you do. I mean, like you said, without our military, without our first responders, we don't have the beautiful country, as whatever you think about our politics, we are still the greatest country in the world.
No doubt about it.
And it's without them, we're just Syria.
We're Syria.
Without them, we're Afghanistan. Without, we're not who we are, and we owe them everything.
We had a captain, a female captain, come in today with her son, and obviously they don't pay for their meal, but we try to make memories here for the kids. And I said, well, why don't you let him come back and he can make his own ice cream. And she said, and we did. He came back. We put the cone up there, and we pulled the nozzle down. And she goes, you don't know what this means. That he'll always have this memory. So that's the way of giving back to the people who are out there busting their tail every day, and giving us the luxury like this to be able to sit here and do this. I mean, we're so fortunate to have the military and our country and our first responders. Who the guys were here. The EMTs were here yesterday. They just got back from a grueling run. Here, some ice cream for you. Just thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay.
I keep hitting the mute for the background noise.
That's okay.
It's not, as a first responder myself, it's not, I don't expect, it's not expected, but it's nice to get that little sign of appreciation every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We had a little Italian deli in Engine 3's district, and we would go in there and order sandwiches. And he'd go, well, you take more roasted peppers. You take more now. And we would say, no. He goes, no, you don't understand. I appreciate what you do here. And the old Italian man and his wife, you walk out there, you pay $5, and you have enough meal for 3 days.
Yeah.
But you appreciate that kind of stuff. You don't want it, but it's nice that somebody's looking out for you too.
Absolutely. And it's nice to know as that fire service leader, it's nice to know, what, hey, if we have an incident that's going to be prolonged, I'd rather call these people and give them the business.
Right. Yeah. And we, like thinking about that, Nick, as I know, like people like Signal 22.
Yeah.
People who volunteer their time to come out and feed you, give you a cold drink on a hot day or a hot drink on a cold night. I mean, those guys volunteer. They go get the truck. They cook the food. They do everything. they volunteer to do this, and
Yeah,
people like
and
that,
run mostly on donations.
all donations. They do 50/50s. They do ticket sales at the Trenton Thunder. Those, you know, we have fundraisers for them a couple times a year. You have to take care of those people. They're giving up their time for us also. So
Yeah.
it works. The more you give, the more you get back. And
Absolutely.
And it's just it turned into a fun little thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, did you ever volunteer as a firefighter or just work?
No, I where I got out of high school, and I painted for a little bit. I became a janitor at Princeton University.
Okay.
And then I did the police thing for a few months. Thank God that didn't work out. Then the fireman, and then this gig, and it's been pretty cool. My wife and I, we were high school sweethearts. We've been married for 41 years now.
Oh,
we have 2 great children, and so I'm so blessed. My life has been so blessed, and I'm so grateful to be able to do this, be able to give back, but to give back too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, anything else going on this summer? Any other events you want to push out there? And really, when do you start collecting for Toys for Tots?
We usually start that in October.
Okay.
The Marines have to come by and give you the boxes, and we make a big thing of them, a big thing of them coming here, giving the boxes. Mm-hmm. They usually come in their dress blues. Okay. There's nothing more sharper than a Marine in his dress blues.
Again, bring up them pictures.
Yeah, and then we usually start in October. It really kicks in November, like right around Thanksgiving. It kicks in big time.
Okay.
We have some Mercer County. We have some Mercer County fire chiefs fundraisers coming up. We have like a schools but the big ones are going to be the Prospect Heights one and on the 24th, and the Army to send packages over to the Army on the 25th.
Okay. All right, excellent. Again, those events will be posted in the show notes, and coming up down the road when you start getting ready for the Toys for Tots, give me some kind of flyer, and I'll push that out on the weekly episode.
Well, it would be pretty cool to do that. Thank you.
Absolutely, it's very. I mean, the words aren't even there of how magnanimous it is of you to do this year after year. You know, like you said, you were working down in Vero Beach. You very easily could have stayed down in Florida.
Yeah. I'm so happy I came back though. I'm so happy I came back and started this, and it really is. I mean, it's really coming. Like you come in, you see how much it changes all the time. The new helmets come in all the time. New patches come in all the time. I mean, and you're amazed. Some of this story, like people, I ask you where this patch come from. You try to remember, because there's a story behind every patch.
Yeah,
you try to remember the stories. But some of the Army stuff is pretty amazing. We have stuff from space. There's an astronaut came in and gave us one that was a patch that flew around the Earth 107 times.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's out of this world.
Yeah, it's not bad. Ding ding. So, but stuff like that. I mean, you can never get. It's so priceless. It's so priceless, some of the stuff that comes in here.
Now I got to ask you a question. What's your favorite hot dog?
I gotta be honest with you.
For those that don't know,
I come from the casino area.
Okay.
Engine 7 was on South Broad Street, on Hamilton Avenue.
Okay.
And we used to, when I got shipped out to Engine 7, my whole day was thinking about a casino dog, the Italian dog.
All right.
That's all we thought about. So Engine 7, you could just walk down the street and get it.
Yeah.
And when the casino was there. So I love the old Italian dog, the peppers and potatoes. You can put onions on it.
Yeah.
The most popular dog here, though, is the boot camp, the chili cheese and bacon, the devil dog, which is named after there was a couple Marines that came in here one day, and they gave me a bunch of crap about not having the devil dog here. I said, how come you don't have nothing for the Marines? I said, okay, well, let's make something up. And we made up the devil dog. Very popular. And we've been fortunate enough to have Navy SEALs come in here, Marcus Luttrell, some of the other SEALs that Goggins, all those guys. They've all been here. So we named sandwiches after them, and so it's kind of taken off from them, from those guys. We start naming sandwiches after our heroes, and now we're doing some hot dogs after some of the heroes. Mike Day. Mike Day is the gentleman, a SEAL who got shot 27 times, and covered up his guys. Now he's still living. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. Like, Michael Mansour took a whole bunch. He saved 20 some guys. He took the bullets for him. So guys who were heroes like that.
Yeah,
who gave their life. We try to do something special for them.
Definitely. What was my? What's your most famous dog? Or most popular?
I think it's
sandwich, or hot dog or sandwich. Because for those that don't know, Capt Paul's Firehouse Dogs has a very, very long, eclectic list of sandwiches and hot dogs and kibasi dogs, and it's something that you really want to look into the menu before you go there. That way you have some kind of idea of what narrowed down.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the menu.
It's delicious.
There's a lot of stuff on it. We named like this kibasi sandwich you talked about is Storm and Norman.
Yes.
Norman General Schwarzkopf is from this area, so we said he was a big burly like personality, alpha male, and that kibasi sandwich comes out as humongous. And I said, well, we got to name this after General Schwarzkopf.
It's delicious.
So it's some of the I like I said, I love the Italian dog. We named it the Trooper because we have a lot of state troopers that come in here, and we have they named the Trooper after them. And then after Superstorm Sandy came in, as you know, Superstorm Sandy, when it came in, those state police officers were incredible down the shore. They saved so many lives. So we named the two dog, the double dog Italian dog is called the Super Trooper, named after Superstorm Sandy and Trooper, because they just did amazing work. I mean, you know the stories.
They always do. It's the New Jersey State Police, which again goes back to Storm and Norman's father, Colonel Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's sometimes I hope people, like if they order the Mike Day, I hope they look up Mike Day. I hope they look up Michael Mansour and see what kind of heroes those are. Goggins, if you get a Goggins, you have to know who David Goggins is. You got to read about him, how special a guy he is. Marcus Luttrell, the lone survivor.
Yeah.
I mean, he went through a whole bunch of stuff. We have the Michael Murphy, who saved Luttrell's life, and
I actually worked at a VA fire department out in Long Island, and every day we were doing building inspections. Well, I'm there few months at the time, and this one woman's desk had all these pictures of Michael Murphy. He was a Long Island boy. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, so she's sitting there one day, and I knew her as Maureen. I'm like, hey, Maureen, how are you? Well, Memorial Day comes, and they had this beautiful memorial to all the American wars and conflicts and everything out in and she gets up and she speaks as I think she's the leader of the Long Island Gold Star Families Association. Right. And she gets up and she's speaking. I'm like, I looked at the guy I work with. I'm like, what's Maureen doing up there? Didn't even realize it was his mother.
That was his mother.
Sweetest,
wow,
most beautiful woman inside and out you'll ever meet. And I had no idea it was Michael Murphy, but knowing the stories of Michael Murphy and who he was and how he was, earning the, Mike the Protector when he was a kid, protecting, smaller kids and stuff. That was her. She was an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. Like we have that the summer sausage sandwich is named after him, and I hope people look that up because it's an incredible story.
Absolutely.
Story. The Danny Dietz was part of that group too that was on that hill, and I asked his mom, but I asked his mother if I was able to name the sandwich, and she said, "Go ahead, yeah, that'd be fine." She goes, let me know what's on it first, so I can see if you like it, you like it or not. So,
I was gonna say, like, if you name a sandwich after me, do I get to, pick what the sandwich is?
we'll come up with something. This is what it's going to be. So you can.
Oh no, I don't deserve a sandwich.
No, I'm talking. Why not? You're doing this great work for the fire department. It's pretty cool that you do this every week, and you're highlighting the fire service, which is pretty admirable of you.
Absolutely. Well, the fire service is my family,
Yeah.
especially the New Jersey Fire Service.
Yeah.
For those that know me, I've been around the state and I've served a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So, do you have any shout outs? Anything else?
Just to my wife, thank you. 41 years of staying with me is a pretty incredible thing. 2 great kids. My sister, she'll be watching this. I want to say hi to my sister. I was unfortunate enough, my younger brother had passed last August.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, it's sad, but I know he's up there looking down on us right now. So just thank you for the fire service family and the first responders who come here religiously.
Well, I still have to ask you the Jersey questions.
Go ahead.
So we're not done yet.
Oh, let's do this.
All right. Well, the first one, I feel like the first one I know the answer to, but it's a tradition. I gotta ask it anyway. Is it pork roll or Taylor ham?
Oh God, it's pork roll. Oh, don't even.
Like I said, it's a tradition. I had to ask it.
I see that Taylor ham stuff and I go, no way, it's pork roll. Cases is right down the street. We're the best in the world.
Like I said, I gotta ask it. It's at North Jersey.
I understand. I've seen some of the North Jersey guys you are interviewing. They say it's Taylor ham. I have to hold back my. I
don't even know how that how it came to be.
I don't know. There's guys who wear that T-shirts around here. Is it Taylor ham? I go, it's not Taylor. It's Cases. I'll bring the guy here. Nick's a good guy. Come in here. I'll tell you about it. But it's a good. You see him on the boardwalk. You see guys on the boardwalk with them and stuff like that. It's fun. It's a fun game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Best pizza.
Oh God. Well,
see, this is a good one because I'm actually making a list of places I got to hit.
This is a shout out. Bobby Ford's Engine 3 pizza.
Okay.
Every Friday night, Bobby Ford would make about 6 or 7 pizzas, and I'm telling you, the thin crust, the pizzas were incredible. And my wife took the tradition over in Florida. We make our own. She makes her own pizzas in Florida, but Bobby Ford's pizzas were incredible at Engine 3. And he made one, Nick, with this chocolate sauce on it, and we put powdered sugar on it. He put the dough in for about 10 minutes, then put this Nutella on it.
All right.
Powdered sugar or sometimes bananas. Oh my God, it's so good. Shout out to Bobby Ford's Pizza.
All right. I'm gonna have to go to Engine 3 and see if I can get some.
There's some really good guys that I know. There's a lot of younger guys now on the job, and I see pictures from the Trenton Fire Department, and they're still doing carrying the tradition on. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Because Friday night was pizza night, Saturday was steak sandwich night, and Sunday was sauce night. So we'd make spaghetti meatballs on or the Italians call it gravy. Bobby Ford would call it gravy. He would smack if you call it spaghetti sauce. But that would be a tradition that we had at the firehouse, and I understand they're keeping that going. So that's fun.
Good, as they should. The fire service, one of the biggest things in the fire service is tradition.
Yes,
and it's a blessing on some things, and it's a curse on the others when it comes to progress. Sometimes
it sure is.
All right, do you go to the beach or you go down the shore?
I go down the shore. I love going down the shore. My wife and I like to go to Belmar.
Okay.
Go to Bar A.
All right.
Go to Bar A and have a cocktail and a burger there. We enjoy that. We go down. We have friends in Cape May, but we don't very rarely. We just don't have a lot of time off. We work 7 days a week. So a couple. We have a fireman, a friend of mine, and his wife come in and work for us once in a while, so we can scoot out here early. You know,
Okay.
every day, Ronnie Hartman and Carol Hartman, they'll come in and work. So, well, we go down the shore.
What beach in Belmore? I grew up going to 10th Ave.
Well, you're talking to a humongous Springsteen fan. So 10th Avenue we go 10th Avenue all the time. So 10th Avenue is where we go there. That's where we go all the time. So
Yeah, I grew up in Freehold, so Bruce Springsteen was definitely a fixture in my community.
yeah, Janice makes homemade ice cream here, and all I think almost all of them, except for maybe one, is named after Bon Jovi song, but all of them are named after Springsteen songs.
Okay.
So
all right.
We have No Surrender, we have Born to Run, we have all kinds of different stuff here. Springsteen stuff. So.
The fire truck that Bruce Springsteen donated was my company in Freehold Borough.
Really?
The Born to Run International Booster Truck. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I know Nick, didn't his son become a fireman in Newark or something?
Jersey City.
City.
I don't think he's on the job anymore. I think he left the job.
Okay. I remember reading about that.
Yeah, he started as a volunteer in Colts Neck, and then he joined Long Branch as a volunteer, and then he ended up getting hired in Jersey City.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, next question. Does Central Jersey really exist?
It does. Capt Paul's is directly in Central Jersey, and I can tell you by the arguments we have of the hot dogs that we serve here, it is Central Jersey, because the people from Princeton up, they want to know how come we don't use Sabrett's and Nathan's, and the people south are happy that we use Hatfield. So it's and they, it's Central Jersey. It's a cool little town. It's a great.
Now, where do you draw the lines?
Princeton to me, Princeton is north to me. From Lawrenceville. I know it's the next town over, but that's north to me. That's getting north towards New Brunswick, and that's definitely north to me. South, this is Trenton area, is Trenton, Hamilton, and you're getting down to Bordentown and down that way. I consider that South Jersey.
All right, so you're drawing the line like the South Jersey, Central Jersey line at like 195.
Yeah, 195. Yeah, I think 7A. We're 7A. We're Central, and then you go down to when you go up to 8. You're in Cranberry. You're in North Jersey. 7, and 8. You're in Cranberry.
All right. See, you're the first one to put Cranberry as North Jersey.
Yeah,
you're the first one to bring it down that low.
Yeah, I think Nick, because you go down, if you go down 130, or if you're going down the Turnpike, you get 7A. 7 is the Heightstown. 8 is that's Cranberry area. That's way north. That's a half-hour ride, Nick. I mean, that's got to be north. That's got to be north.
All right. No, it's always interesting to me the people that say yes. Well, first of all, there's a lot of people that don't think Central Jersey exists. They think it's just the line between North and South. But then you get the people, it's interesting to find out where certain people, whether it's the Driscoll and the Raritan River, or is it here?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to find out where people draw that line.
Yeah. It's a fun conversation.
Absolutely. And unless you're from Jersey, you don't understand it.
No, because if you go somewhere, Nick, they ask you what exit are you off? What exit?
Yeah.
What exit? And, I go 7A.
Yep.
I'm right in the middle.
So funny thing, I have a T-shirt that I had made up, and I have a bunch of them. I'll actually have to bring one by for you. The back of it says, "We pump hose, not our gas."
Oh, okay.
And the guy who did the graphic design work for me is out of Long Island. He asked me, he's like, "Hey, I got a question for you. What's the back of the shirt mean?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You don't pump gas?" I'm like, "Not in New Jersey. We don't. It's against the law." He goes, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, New Jersey, it's against the law for us to pump our own gas. Everything's full service." He goes, "That's awesome."
It's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, I think we're the last state in the country
I
that we're
think
not
we are.
allowed. Yeah,
I
that
think
we're
we are.
legally not allowed to pump our own gas.
Yeah, it's weird because when I first we start going down south, we'd probably like get a tank to about Virginia.
Okay.
Then you pull in the gas station and you're sitting there waiting for like 5 minutes. You go, is there anybody to come pump my gas? And, and you're going, and they go, no, you could. You go in. I went inside and I said, "Is somebody going to come out here and pump my gas?" Said, no, pump your gas. You pump your own gas here.
Pump your own gas. That's all.
Pump your own gas.
All right. Next question. Who are or were some of your mentors?
Capt Moakley.
Okay.
Capt Moakley. My father had just passed when I got on the job.
Oh.
And he took me under his wing. And there's so many guys. Chief Petrino, Chief Dale. I mean, the guys who were my father's friends were Captain Ferda, guys who they really helped me out a lot in the beginning of my career.
Okay.
I mean, I worked with some really good guys. I mean, John Harrison was here today. John was the captain. He always looked out after me too. You know, and you find the really good guys and you follow them around. That's how you learn. You just follow them around. You learn how they do it. They're successful, and there's a reason why they're successful because they do the right thing.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned. I just follow around the good guys. The chiefs that we used to have on the fire department that were just good guys, and they would help you as much as they could.
Absolutely. Definitely. What's your proudest or some of your proudest achievements or accomplishments on the job?
The biggest one I told you earlier about was the rescuing the children out of the second floor window. That was the biggest one. I'm really proud of. I volunteered at the 9/11 Memorial Museum for about 5 years, and I got to meet a lot of firemen and FDNY guys there, and I got to meet a lot of the families who lost someone in 9/11.
Okay.
That was like it was humbling, but it was, you know, you learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about other people that way. I mean, it's the red bandana. I tell the red bandana story where they were given a speech at 9/11 Museum. They have a room where they do daily I don't know, they do daily talks about the people who lost their life. And the one kid was a red bandana story. He went in there.
Well, please feel free to share it.
Yeah, he went into the towers like 5 different times to rescue people, and they want to know. We want to know where. How do you know it was him? Because he said the kid had a red bandana on. He went in. He rescued me. He rescued my friend. He rescued this guy. And he was a young man who just got out of college, and then that day they were given the talk, and I had asked if I could sit in on the talk because I had never been to one, and they said, yeah, go ahead. So we went up there, and then the talk was over, and everybody had tears in their eyes. And then we came out, and his parents were there that day, and then his parents had said, why don't you come with us? And we walked out to where his name is on the wall, on the thing, and it was an emotional thing, and but stories like that, you got to meet the fireman who was on the pile with President Bush. He came to the museum one day. I go, oh my God, I know you, and took a picture. I mean, those guys like that. I mean, FDNY guys would come in. They would tell you the story, how they got out or how their friend didn't get out. It was an emotional 5 years, but it was worth. I'm so happy I got a chance to do it. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, that's a amazing experience, but at the same time, it's got to take its toll. You know, at certain.
It is an emotional train ride home. I mean, you run the day through. You run the day on the train ride home. You're thinking, my God, I can't even imagine. You know.
Yeah. And
it does. You have to go home and drink a beer. You have to, because it takes its toll on you after a while. But it's not nothing like what the families went through. So You always got to
Yeah.
keep that in the back of your mind.
Or the brothers and sisters that were going every day, day after day, trying to find their brothers and their their fellow company members and their best friends. And it definitely had definitely took its toll on everybody.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate enough to be part of the Tunnels to Towers. I've done some work with them, and we actually donate a lot of money. Not a lot of money, I shouldn't say a lot. We've donated thousands of dollars to them because we have fundraisers here for them. We sell stuff for them, but they let me read some of the names on one of the 9/11. So, and that was telling 10 names, but it was an emotional thing. It's
That's 10 lives.
A lot of firemen and police officers are still losing their lives today.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we? We're almost at, or we just passed 400 since 9/11 with 9/11 cancers and illnesses.
Yeah. I mean, guys, I think a fireman just died the other day he had contacted something and took its toll over the years. So still dealing with it. But those guys are they're amazing. They're amazing human beings. I would work the 9/11 day. I'd work that day. I'd volunteer that day, and the firemen would come, and how just broken up they are, because they remember it like it was yesterday. And so
absolutely.
Give them a chance to talk to you. As you're a volunteer, you're helping them just get through the day, and it was a very rewarding experience for me.
Absolutely, definitely. All right, last question, and I'll let you get back to work. What advice do you have for the fire service? Past, present, past, future.
I would say enjoy your time there. Study. I mean, study. Enjoy your time in the firehouse, but also take it seriously. It's fun being in the kitchen, but there are people out there who need your help. Just take everything seriously. When they take you out to train, take that seriously, because one day you're going to use it. It might not be the first 20 years of your career, but it's going to happen. One day you're going to have to learn how to tie that knot. You're going to have to learn how to use the rescue bag. You're going to have to learn how to do all that stuff. So my advice is always to the guys: pay attention, study, listen to the guys who you think are doing the right thing. Listen to those guys, and just pay attention. Take everything seriously. But when the training's done, go have fun. Be with the guys. Go bust their chops, because they everybody likes that. So that would be my advice.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Don't be hiding in your bunk rooms. Don't be hiding in the recliner. Stay active. Stay training. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, stay active, stay training, and work out. I mean, just get a chance. If you get a chance to work out, you get a chance to keep in shape, because you're going to have to. That elevator's not going to work one day. You're going to have to climb them steps. So,
yeah, right.
And there's going to be somebody up there waiting for you. So just keep yourself in a little bit of shape and have fun and pay attention.
All right, excellent. Now let's get back to those shout outs you were in the middle of. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. I'm enjoying every second of this, Nick. The guys I worked with, I mean, they got me through a lot. I mean, they made being a captain easy. The guys who put it on the line every day. I got your back, and thank you for doing what you do. And
Captain Brian Butler from Trenton, I forget what company he's with right now, but he runs Urban Fire Tactics. Said to say hello. He remembers when he came on when he was working at Ladder 4, I believe it was. He said he worked with you.
Yeah, Brian's a good guy. Brian and I are friends. We see each other every once in a while, and he's doing amazing work. He's doing amazing work. He's a very smart kid. I love his videos.
Absolutely,
and, he does. He's just a good guy. He's just a lot of fun now. He's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely. He's a very, very smart man.
Yeah,
I've had the benefit to pick his brain a few times, and very, very smart man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you have anything else,
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been fun, and
thank you again. I will. So now I'll put you in the backstage area. We'll say our goodbyes off camera. I will say goodbye to everybody and then be back with you.
I'll see you.
All right, everybody. That wraps up run number 25 with Captain Paul Tweedly from Trenton Fire Department and Captain Paul's Firehouse Dogs. If you haven't been out there on Trenton and on the Princeton Pike, 2230. Yeah, 2230 Princeton Pike in Lawrence, New Jersey. If you haven't been there, you got to get out there. It's a great establishment, great food, great people, and a great experience. All right, everybody. Until next Thursday, have fun, be safe.